Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to explore the quiet weight of a journey, one that took place well over 1,000 years ago. But you'll see, it speaks to a fear that is absolutely timeless. Before we break it all down, let's first just listen to the poem in its original language, just to hear its music.
另外燕书断，京东复历村，近乡情更切，不敢问来人。
That was Crossing the Han River by the early Tang Dynasty poet Song Zhiwen. Now, this isn't just some simple poem about traveling. It was actually written under incredible stress. You see, the poet was a political exile, banished to the remote south. After more than a year totally cut off, he risked everything to escape, secretly making his way back home. And these 4 short lines, they capture one single, incredibly powerful moment on that very dangerous return trip.
So, the poem opens right at the source of the poet's pain. We see it right here in this first line, 岭外音书断.
Beyond the mountains, well, that's a reference to a place called Lingnan, which was a common spot for exiles back in the Tang Dynasty, a pretty remote and dangerous land. But the real key here is that last word, duan. It means broken or severed. So it's not just that he wasn't getting letters, it's that the connection itself felt like it had been violently cut. He was completely, utterly alone.
And in that deafening silence, you can just feel the immense weight of time passing. The poet continues, 京东复春.
Now, on the surface, that sounds pretty simple, right? Just a description of time. But listen to the feel of it. That word fu means again. It gives you this sense of a relentless, almost agonizing cycle. It wasn't just a long time he was gone, it felt like an endless loop of seasons passing by in total isolation, with zero news and, you have to imagine, his hope just slowly fading away.
And then, just as he's getting closer, the emotional core of the poem just reveals itself. Something totally unexpected happens. We hear it in this next line. 近乡情更切.
And there it is, the great paradox. I mean, after all that suffering, all that desperate longing, you would expect overwhelming joy, wouldn't you? Total relief? But nope. Instead, the poet is just seized by this growing feeling of apprehension. The very idea of homecoming has become something to dread. Let's take a closer look at this character, Qie. This is not the kind of fear you get from a physical threat. It's much more fragile. It's an internal anxiety. It's that specific dread that comes after you've been holding on to this beautiful memory of home for so long, and you're terrified that the reality you find is going to be shattered by bad news. It's a fear that's born from the deepest kind of love and uncertainty. And this feeling of qie just completely paralyzes him. It leads directly to the final and really haunting image of the poem. 不敢问来人.
This is Tia made real. I mean, think about it. He sees someone coming from the direction of his hometown, the one person who could end all this agonizing uncertainty in a second. But he just can't bring himself to ask. The thought of potentially devastating news that maybe his family suffered because of his political disgrace is just too terrifying to face.
So you can see this poem is so much more than just 4 lines. It actually reveals this profound psychological truth about how hope and fear are tangled together. Just think about it for a second. After more than a year of being completely cut off, what kind of news would you even be bracing for? That silence, over time, becomes this huge container for all of your worst fears. For our poet, the unknown was agonizing, for sure. But at least in the unknown, there was still the possibility of hope. A single piece of bad news could destroy that hope forever.
And this right here just brilliantly lays out the poet's internal war. Every single instinct should be pushing him to get information, to rush forward. But his love for his family is so deep that the fear of what he might find out about them has actually become stronger than his own need for relief. So now the hope of reunion and the terror of loss are basically the exact same thing.
And this is exactly why this poem still hits home so deeply today. It's not just some historical artifact. It's a feeling we all know. It's that hesitation before you open a really important email or avoiding a difficult phone call. It's that moment where you realize that ignorance, for just a little while longer, can actually feel safer than a truth that might be devastating. I dare not ask the traveler passing by. In the end, the poet is just frozen in this moment of quiet terror. And it's a powerful testament to how love can make us so vulnerable and how the journey home can sometimes be the most frightening journey of all. It really makes you wonder, what are you afraid of finding when you finally arrive?